come with me to Edinburgh. This was part of the same trip as my London video, and like in those clips, I ended up barely narrating anything. I was distracted by things going on back home. I was on my own here, and I'd never even been to Scotland before. I knew I'd love Edinburgh, so I wanted to check out the festivals in August, specifically the Fringe Festival, the Book Festival, and the literary history of the city, so this was a vacation and a pilgrimage. I really adored it, despite my mind being elsewhere, and I can't wait to go back. I'm going to adjust some of my plans so that they're not as ambitious as they were, because I'm trying to pack in my first time being here with Fringe activities, Bookfest activities, and also just relaxing a little bit, which I don't think is really feasible in 6 days. I have my complimentary glass of cava, and I thought I would give you a brief tour of my room before I get all of my stuff everywhere. So here's my bed. I have sat in it and charged my phone, so let me move that. I've been assigned Clan MacLeod, and this is their tartan. I have a little station for coffee and tea and things. I did already eat the little cookies that were there. I did have some YouTube on the TV while I was sitting around. This lovely chair here that looks out onto the street. Place to put my clothes. I've got a beautiful full shower. Everything is just very clean and very nice. And importantly, dressing robe. I am heading out. It's gonna be a very bookish day, hopefully. A very busy bookish day. Hitting up the Scott Monument, the Writers Museum, a couple of bookstores, a stand-up show, and a book festival event about, I think, up-and-coming emerging poets. Am I rested enough for this? I don't know. stayed at this beautiful guest house called Castle Park in Brunsfield, and the two hosts were simply incredible. They were so kind and attentive. They make a fresh, custom, delicious breakfast every day. I ended up spending a lot of time resting in my room, and just that was such a pleasant experience. It was nearly too good to be true, but it was true, so it was great. Okay, well, I'm at the base of the summit, I guess. That's Arthur's Seat. But yeah, I'm already tired getting up the rest of the way. I don't know if you can see the city back there. That was a lot of steps. I do come from Montreal, where we have a comparable little mountain to hike up, but oof. Let's see if I can make it. I mean, if I don't, I just come back down, you know. It's not like I'm stuck up there, so let's fucking go. Okay, I simply must interject here and specify that Arthur's Seat is significantly more difficult of a walk than Mount Royal in Montreal. They might be comparable sizes, but I don't tend to have to climb on my hands and knees at Mount Royal. That being said, this was a really beautiful, light hike. The weather was perfect when I went. The views were incredible. And I want to try more of the paths. Apparently the one that I took was one of the less picturesque ones. But, I mean, I thought it was amazing, so.
Laura Kay has so sharp, funny, and big. Before we take off.
Scoop of ricotta orange pistachio and a scoop of mango cardamom. I'm in the Vennel lookout point 2. Where is she? The castle. I think this was the only day of my trip where it rained, and even then it really wasn't much of a rain. I feel like I had an inauthentic Edinburgh experience, to be honest. But I planned this day super well. I went for a really leisurely afternoon tea at Prestonfield House. By the time I finished my tea, the sun came out and I went to go see the cows.
Definitely go see her. Thank you so much.
bathrooms. This was planned. The nights that I wanted to stay, there wasn't a room that I could stay in all of the consecutive nights. I have a tiny little desk, ensuite bathroom, which is a lovely TV. I get an armchair and big windows with curtains now. Let's see if I can... The fan just turns on automatically, but it's basically the same bathroom as before, although this stone is different, so I like it. Okay, I'm in my nook now. But yeah, it's been a nice time to just sort of sit alone with my own thoughts and not worry too much about like how to narrate or narrativize what I'm doing. I saw Highland cows today. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to see Highland cows because really they're like, in Edinburgh they're mostly pets, and so they're just like free roaming grounds. I don't think there's a place where they're just sort of collected for people to come and see them, which I prefer. I'm glad that that is the case, but it did mean that I was not going to be guaranteed a spotting. And yeah, so I went to afternoon tea at a place where I read that they do have cows on the grounds, but knowing that I wasn't definitely going to see them. And then sure enough, they were right there, like at the fence as you were coming in. So that was awesome. I cried. I was in an Uber and I almost screamed. The highlight of my trip, just seeing at a distance little cows chilling in their field. They were just chill. But yeah, it's been a bit of a weird time with personal stuff as well, so it's been nice to just sort of bop around by myself and not really have huge expectations or a massive itinerary. I've been able to just sort of come back to the guest house and just like lie down, put YouTube videos on the TV and eat little snacks. I mean, that works for me. While of course just having done like 12 hours of tourism and shows. And then I ended up at Blackwell's like an hour and a half. I did not realize an hour and a half went by until I realized everyone was leaving. And I was like, but they don't close until 8. And I look at my phone and it's 8 p.m. I spent an hour and a half in Blackwell's. This is why I always budget a lot of time for me to go to a bookstore, because sometimes it's like a 10-minute browse of looking around and being like, this is probably not the vibe for me. And then sometimes it's an hour and a half. Just like most of it spent in the poetry section, just looking at every single title. And then like, I don't know if I think I might have recorded parts of this, of there were like buy 3 books for the price of 2 stickers, and there was one on one book that I picked up and I was like, surely I can find 2 more books that I want. I didn't. It could have happened if I was willing to buy Vanity Fair. I did, so a lot of this hour and a half was spent deciding, am I going to buy Vanity Fair and then also bring it home when I know that I don't need it now? This is not an edition that can only be found in the UK, and it's big. It was really heavy. I don't find Oxford World Classics that heavy usually, but it was heavy. And then also, like, I didn't really find a third book that I really wanted, and so I was like, why would I buy more books if I only just want the one? That being said, I did buy like 5 books, but there was only one with the 3 for 2 sticker. You get it. I remember this day as one of my happiest days of my trip. Every single person I met in Portobello was so kind, and I dipped my toes into the water. This is a peninsula off of the North Sea. It was cold, and I just dog watched for hours. Then I headed to Leith for a witch history themed whiskey tasting event that was part of Fringe. And that was amazing. Apparently, they do it every year, and I might go back in August again sometime just to experience that.
Having a little snacky snack. This is the view. So I'd heard of this bag making workshop on social media with the Islander workshop, and I kind of fell in love with it. Obviously, it's touristy, but hey, I'm a tourist here. I got to choose exactly which kind of bag I wanted and all of the elements to go in it, and screwed it together myself. It was really just the perfect personalized keepsake, and the final event to close out my trip, actually. swung by the National Museum of Scotland very briefly. I will come back to do the full tour of the museum again. I have a whole list of places that I wanted to go and I couldn't make it. But at this point I had to catch my train back to London and enjoyed these beautiful views of the sea. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.